What's up guys, Dr. Abyss here with the prescription for all your RPG needs. Today we are going to be ranking the Pokemon starters in order of how awesome I think they are, how awesome they were in the game, and a little bit of personal preference. If you're excited, you know what to do. Go ahead, smash that like button. Also, comment and subscribe if you want to see more great RPG reaction content, tier list, top 10, all that awesome jazz. So let's get started. We're actually going to be working from Gen 8 down. I'm going to say Gen 1 for the last because those are, the big ones, the ones everybody knows the best. Now, before we get started, a little bit of a list of what I'm going to be using for qualification for my rankings here. I'm going to be using their overall usefulness in the original gen, their look, how their evolution look and act, as well as my personal preference, obviously. So, first off, let's start off with Grookey. Now, Grookey, he's okay. He's a monkey. He looks like Chimchar, but grassy. He becomes a little bit cooler when he evolves into Rillaboom, though his middle evolution Thwackey is honestly kind of It doesn't really look good at all. Honestly, that's an issue all the Galarian two out of the three Galarian starters have. Their middle evolution just don't look that great. So, but he is useful. You will use him. He's not with how the gym setup is and Sword and Shield, each of the starters is good for one of the first three gyms. He is useful against the second gym, Nessa. He's not bad when he evolves. He gets like Woodhammer and some other things. So he's overall not bad. I would say probably rank him, I would give Grookey a B. I think he's a solid B, He's not a bad mon, but he's not fantastic. Now next we're going to get to Scorbunny. Scorbunny, I'll be honest, when the starters were announced, I was not a fan of Scorbunny because I knew in my heart they were going to make this little bunny a freaking fire fighting type again, and I was going to scream. I was so mad when they showed him and showed off, and then they did the whole thing where the starter for Galar just ended up being monotyped with additional type abilities. Cinderace is really cool, and Scorbunny, I do love his middle evolution Rabu. I think Rabu just gives off the perfect kind of like emo anime protagonist, doesn't care but really does care kind of vibe. He is useful against the first of the three gyms, so he gives you time to build up a team to take on the second and third gyms, and he is useful later on. Also, one thing I should mention, their Gigantamaxes. All three of the Galarmon Gigantamaxes are amazing. Rillaboom with the drum set, Cinderace on top of the freaking giant soccer ball, and then Inteleon in the sniper tower made out of a tail. All super cool looking. So all of those are pluses in my favor. Also, one thing that really puts Scorbunny above Grookey in my opinion, I've recently finished watching the Pokemon Journeys anime on Netflix, at least so far Netflix has it out. And Scorbunny is absolutely adorable, and Rabu is also kind of cool. I can't wait to see how he acts when he is Cinderace. So, with all that being said, Scorbunny, I'm going to rank an A. It's not quite S tier for me, but it is definitely an A rank. Now, on to my homeboy, Sobble. Sobble, look at this guy. This is just such a cute little guy. He's always crying. He's always worrying over things. But he really kind of comes into his own. Again, his middle form is honestly can't even remember what I called it, like the emo lizard look with the hair over the eye, not digging it. But then he becomes Inteleon, and Inteleon is beautiful, an absolutely badass looking mon. I love his snipe shot water attack. I think that's what I call it, snipe shot. And obviously I was just talking about Gigantamax. Gigantamax is super cool. He actually, of the three starters, he's the one who doesn't really become super useful until the third gym. Obviously he'd useful against trainers and things like that, but if you're looking for like specific type coverage for gyms, it's not until the third gym. But when he evolved into Inteleon, he gets moves like U-turn, which I use to great effect. He has obviously his signature move. Hydro Cannon on Inteleon is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And he also gets, I think, like Ice Shard or something. He gets like good coverage of moves. And with all that being said, normally, with all I'm saying, again, that middle evolution would probably put him A rank, but he is my favorite Anxiety Lizard, so he goes to S tier, and you can fight me on that. Now on to 7. So Galar, Poplio, Poplio I would probably put C tier. I really don't like its design. I don't think it looks good at all. It's a water fairy type. It's useful. Had good coverage against dragon types. Really helped against a couple of the later trials where it started to get more difficult. Helped against Necrozma because I think Necrozma is Psychic Dragon or Ghost Dragon, Dark Dragon, some form of dragon. Necrozma is dragon, right? God, I haven't played Sun and Moon in so long, y'all. I don't honestly remember. But Primarina is really useful, and Primarina doesn't look bad. I just don't like the look of Poplio, and I don't like whatever the middle form called. I'm really bad with the middle form, guys. You're gonna have to bear with me on that. So, honestly, it's probably my least favorite out of the three Alolan starters, so he is a solid C tier. Next, Torracat. Torracat, or Litten into Torracat into Incineroar. I love the look of it. I love playing Incineroar and Smash. He looks good. He looks badass. I love that they kind of do the fake out where you think Incineroar looks like he should be firefighting and he's actually Fire Dark. I love that. Fire Dark, I think, is a really cool typing. I love the Houndour or Houndoom lines. They're getting to see that in the starter. The cat, really cool, really awesome. I would say he probably is my favorite out of the three Alolan starters. He was the one I used in my first run through. I'd probably put him about A rank. I would say A rank, fair for him. Rowlet. Now, I'm going to get a lot of hate from this because my roommate Griffin, he loved Rowlet. He loved using Rowlet in Alola. He does it, but I just, yeah, he got his dapper little bow tie. He's cute. He's Wrath and Ghost, which is a really nice typing. His Spirit Chakra move is useful when he evolves into Decidueye, and I'm always a fan of Mons that switch typing like midway through, like go from Grassline to Grass Ghost. I like that. But really, I mean, yeah, he's a little useful, but I have to rank him B. I don't see him as a tier. I just personally, I don't think he quite deserves to be there. And I'm noticing a trend here. Grass B, Fire A. That will change later on. Alright, now on to Kalos. So Kalos. We have my homeboy Froakie. Now Froakie, I used to love. I love playing Froakie, though he wasn't who I used in my original run. I think my original run I used Fennekin. But I've used him in subsequent runs on X and Y. I love Froakie. I love his cute little Froakie and his little bubbles. And then when he becomes Greninja, I was a Naruto weeb growing up. Okay, I love Naruto. So having a frog ninja just is amazing. His middle form's okay. With Frogadier with the bubbles, had kind of a decent vibe to it. He's pretty useful, honestly. Doesn't do a whole lot of work against the first gym leader, but again, if you don't do Fennekin, none of them are going to do good against a Bud type. But he does amazing work against the second gym leader. Third gym, not so much. Fourth gym, he does good, and he looks really good. I want to put him S tier, I really do, but I think there's just enough usefulness holding him back in his original gen. I'm going to put him high A. He's definitely high A tier for me. Now for Fennekin. I know I was just talking about you, Fennekin, in my original run, and I thought they were really cool. I love the concept of a fire, especially after we just came off of 3 straight firefighting. Having this little fox that turns out to be fire psychic was really nice touch, I thought. It looked and performed really well, I think. It would be a fantastic Mon. I'm just not a fan of the design. I don't think, I don't know, just something about the middle form being kind of that magical girl look, and then Delphox being full on like witch. I don't know, it's not really a fan. It is great for the first and fourth gen, possibly third. I don't remember if it learned the psychic type move in its middle evolution. If it does, then it's really good for the third gem. And then, of course, fifth. But overall, it's not bad. I don't know. Its look just really kind of is And for me, I gotta put a B tier. I really do. We're gonna have a hard time. Well, I say we're gonna have a hard time. We're gonna have 1 or 2 mons in the lower tier, so don't worry. This isn't all just high tier, but a lot of these starters are really good. Just some of them are kind of eh. And don't worry, we'll get to some duds here. In fact, hey, here Chespin. So Chespin, what can I say? Chespin, I really hated his depiction in the anime. He was literally just like the greedy little eating machine, like a Snorlax, but not great. Who then, he eventually evolved into Quilladin, not in the anime, I don't think. And then, that's not. And none of the designs look very good. I like his look, I like his typing, I like his abilities. Once you get past the first gym, he's useful pretty consistently through the rest of the game. But overall, I mean, just look at him. He's like this little, doesn't even look like he should be a full grass type. Like he just has a little like helmet. I gotta put him. I don't want to put him F because he's not. Well, yeah, I'm gonna put him E tier. There's really not a whole lot going for him. He's not quite terrible enough to be F, but he's certainly in there. All right, now Oshawott. Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of really any of the Unova starters. They all are kind of blah, and there's a lot of missed opportunities there, and we'll get into that later. Oshawott, he just looks weird. I don't like his look as Oshawott, Dewott, or Samurai. I think they missed out a lot by having a Samurai Mon not be like a little bit more badass than what they could have done with him. In the anime, he looked. I don't actually know. I never watched the black and white anime, so I really don't know how he is in there. But overall, he's not that great. In black and white, he's useful in the second. Well, the first gym doesn't really count because the first gym in the original black and white is the 3 guys, Dylan, Cress, and Cinder, or whatever the third guy name was. So that really doesn't matter. The second one, he's just not that useful. Honestly, Oshawott, you're kind of garbage here, and you get the F. Sorry, not really. And now Tepig. So Tepig is a cute mon. He's cute. His middle form, not bad looking. His whole line doesn't look terrible. But the problem is, he had the 3rd firefighting starter we get in a row. And he suffered for that. He suffered from fatigue at that point. Because at that point, we were all just kind of tired of it. He's a cute little guy. I think I would give him an E tier. He's not bad. He gets some really good moves. He's a pretty good fire type if you use him in Gen 5, but he's also a firefighting type, and we've had a lot of those. Like, a lot. So, yeah, he's a E tier for me. Sorry. Snivy. Now, Snivy is an interesting case, because he's a case of, I like his original design. His Servine, I'm not a big fan of, and Superior, I don't understand how this guy goes from having arms and legs to losing arms and legs in the final evolution. Like, I've seen it the other way around, but having him literally go from being a bipedal creature to whatever the heck you call a snake, a slithering creature, like, that just doesn't look good. Overall, though, he is powerful. He does do pretty good work. He is pretty consistently useful throughout most of the game. I would give him a C. I can say a C. He's definitely higher than little garbage piles down here, but he's probably a C for me. Now we get on to Sinnoh starters. Now, Sinnoh is interesting because we have Piplup, which is one of our early water steel type when it fully evolves. He's very cute. He was the mascot for Gen 4's companion Dawn. He looks adorable. He does good work. Gen 4 is an interesting case because if you go off of Diamond and Pearl, Sun, I think, fixes it a little bit, but if you go off of Diamond and Pearl, the type availability gets a little wonky. But Piplup did good work. I would say Piplup probably a B tier for me. It's not bad, but not great. Now Chimchar. So Chimchar wasn't bad because yes, he was another firefighting, but at that point it wasn't quite a bad fatigue. Yeah, we had it with Torchic, but he wasn't bad. He was a good solid Mon. His real advantage though, and his real usefulness in the original game is if you don't pick Chimchar as your starter, you have one other option for a fire type in the entire Diamond and Pearl. At least until after you beat the Elite Four. I think after you beat the Elite Four, you have more options. But up until you beat the game, your only other fire type is there is one route where you can catch a Ponyta. That's it. That's all the fire types in the entire game. So if you don't pick Chimchar, you better find some other way to cover the fire type coverages because you ain't gonna get anything else. So for all that, with how useful he is and how important he is, I would say he's an A tier. He's definitely one I think would be better, or it'd be more interesting to look at if Diamond and Pearl hadn't just starved us for fire type, but they did, so we're looking at it that way. Now we get on to my boy Turtwig here. I love this little turtle guy. He definitely S tier for me. Every time I'm super happy. I've used Torterra multiple times in runs. He's adorable. When he becomes Torterra, he becomes a literal tank. He becomes Atuin the World Turtle, which I've never read Discworld, but I love that name, so I always name my Torterra Atuin. And I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but hey, if you're a Discworld fan, let me know how the heck you're supposed to pronounce Atuin, because I certainly have no clue. But I love his design, his little leaf, and then Grotle looks cool, and then you get Torterra, which literally has a freaking tree on it coming out of a shell in the back. I love the design of that. And Grass Ground actually negates a lot of weaknesses. Really the worst thing for Grass Ground is ice and flying. Really is some of the worst. Well, flying Jet Ground doesn't negate it, but ice is really the biggest weakness for Turtwig has. But Torterra has so much both, you don't really have to worry about it. It's hard to kill Torterra. I love that Mon to death, and it will forever be S tier in my heart. Now we get on to the Hoenn Mons. Hoenns are hard. Like, I think all of the Hoenn starters are probably really high up there in tiers. I think I would say Torchic. The Torchic, you're the first fighting Mon. Blaziken is amazing. Or first firefighting Mon. Blaziken's amazing. We have just a whole bunch of awesome things out of Torchic. The biggest issue with Torchic is actually it's an issue suffered by some other starters on this list. Yes, he's powerful. Yes, he's awesome. But he kind of doesn't do a whole lot in the first few gems. He really, especially if you go with Ruby and not Sapphire, he's not going to do a whole lot. He's going to do nothing in the first gem. You need to go catch a Machop for the first gem. The second gem, he's not going to do a whole lot because it's a fighting gem. You can brute force with him, but he's not going to do a whole lot specifically. Third gem, Watson, same thing. Actually, he did good because I think Watson has a couple Magnemites that Torchic at that point should be Combustion. Should be good. And plus, if you have double kick, you do good there. But Torchic really comes into its own mostly late game. I mean, Tate and Liza don't do great. It doesn't do great either, but it does. Same with Monona. Really, yeah, actually looking at it, there's really only like 3 gems Torchic does good work. Now, the designs are cool. I love all 3, Torchic, Combustion, and Blaziken. Although, can I say, I just saw what the Gen 8 version of Blaziken looks like recently. And did y'all know that Blaziken had little claws sticking out of his leg like that? Because I had no clue it looked like that. Literally, the sprite showed like the leg, which is how I've always seen it. That looks like he's wearing pants. But they're like little 3 claws sticking out of it. I've never noticed that on any Blaziken sprite. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me physically uncomfortable to see that. And for that and a couple other reasons, this really kills me because I do genuinely enjoy this. Torchic is going to be a high B for me. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate in the comments. I know a lot of people love Torchic, but now we get on to Mudkip. I heard you like Mudkip. Well, so do I. I do love Mudkip. Mudkip was my first starter back in Gen 3. It was one of my favorite starters. Gen 3 was really where I really started to get into Pokemon. And I love Mudkip. He's really useful. He covered the first gym really well. The second gym, again, none of the starters do super well against the second gym because none of them have coverage on fighting. The third gym, I believe when he evolves into Marshtomp, comments, you can let me know if I'm wrong, he already gets ground type, which means he does great against the third gym. And then of course, fighting gym, or fire gym, fourth gym, he just destroys it. So Mudkip is really awesome. I love his design. I love, Marshtomp is a little but Swampert is awesome. I love Swampert. I love the design. I love the moveset. In TM. So, Mudkip is definitely S tier for me. Now, Trico. And also one thing I suppose I should mention with the Gen 3 mods, yeah, all of their megas look pretty cool. But for the most part, they don't do a whole lot. Sorry about that, guys. We're doing a little bit of cooking there, and the timer went off. So, but we are back. So like I was saying, Trico is cute mon, very powerful. I love the design of Grovyle and Sceptile. I love the looks of them. They all look very badass. They definitely could be a little, considering he's the only one of the 3 Hoenn starters who doesn't get a second typing. He does struggle a little bit there, but his signature move, Leaf Blade, and all those does good work. He good coverage on the first gym, third gym he resists. He struggles on the fourth gym, but he does well later on when we get to like 8th gym, 7th gym a little bit. I think you get Dark Blade, or Dark Pulse, or not Dark Blade. I don't even remember what it. He did better in later games, shall we say? Oh, Fury Cut, that's what I'm thinking of. And I love his design. I love that he won the Megas who gets a dragon with his Mega typing. I'm a big fan of those. I would say he's a solid mid-A, I would say. And now we get to Johto, another kind of canonically, or usually weaker lot. Mainly because, again, they all suffer from the same. They monotyping, don't get good dual type coverage, and honestly, they're all just kind of not that powerful. They're great looking mon, don't get me wrong. I love the designs on all 3 of them, but Totodile, Water Gem, or Water type. Totodile in his original gen is horrible for one reason. He is a physical attacker before the physical special flip, which means all those Water type moves he gets are special, and his special did not compare to his physical. Now, when you look at it from Gen 4 on, Totodile pretty awesome. But at least for Gen 2, he just doesn't hold up. He's not a good choice for Gen 2. I do have to put him, I like his design, Crocodile's a little but Totodile for Alligator are cute. I have to put him as C tier, unfortunately. He just doesn't hold up. Cyndaquil, again, I love the design. Cyndaquil, Quilava, Typhlosion all look cool. He does a little bit better gym coverage wise, because again, I think he had better special attack, and his special holds up better with the fire typing. Second gym, he does good. Third gym, he does pretty well. And then he goes on from there. I like a type of life with evolution. I would give Cyndaquil a B, like a mid B. I feel like he could be better, but he's not terrible. He's definitely the best of the 3 Johto starters, in my opinion. And now we come to my girl Meganium. Chikorita, you're adorable. I loved you in the anime with your whole crush on Ash. It was adorable. But you are just very much bad. Like, your stats aren't great. You don't have a great moveset. You don't do much to make up for it. And you're literally the hard mode if you pick Johto because you're weak to the first 2 gym leaders. I'm sorry, Chikorita. I gotta put you F tier. I'm sorry. Like, I wish you were better. I wish I could put you higher. I really do, but I can't. You're F. You're a solid F. Now here we have a little bit of an odd thing. Before we get to the true Kanto starters, which is going to be a point of contention, I feel like, when we get to those. We have Pikachu and Eevee. So Pikachu and Eevee, I'm counting on this list because, again, they are technically starters. You get them if you play Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. Also, you get Pikachu at the starter in Pokemon Yellow, so I do have that enough to count them. But so Eevee, if you look at the original gen, Eevee's pretty interesting because, again, he gives you coverage. You know, Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon. I love the look of all the Eevee evolutions and all that. I'm super upset we haven't gotten a new Eevee since Gen 6. I feel like we are way overdue for a new evolution, and I really just want something new. So hey, either Gen 4 remake or Gen 9 when that comes out, we want evolution. Please give us the evolution and we'll be happy. Eevee as itself, not a great starter, especially because if you look at the Let's Go version, they can't evolve, but an Eevee that can evolve is a little eh. But I love the choices. I love the look of most of the evolutions. I would say Eevee's the A rank. Now we get to Pikachu. Now here's the thing with Pikachu. I feel so bad for Raichu because Raichu gets gypped. Like, Raichu is statistically better and stronger than Pikachu. It looks cool, but everybody go for Pikachu. People don't usually evolve Raichu, or evolve Pikachu into Raichu, which, again, Raichu kind of gets gypped in that case, because you get a Pikachu gets the Gigantamax form in Gen 8, gets Z moves in Gen 7. Surprisingly, Pikachu did not get a Mega Stone in Gen 6. I don't know why, because, you know, they gave Pikachu everything else. But Pikachu gets, you know, all this hype and attention. He's good, don't get me wrong, he's a good electric type. But Raichu is better, and Raichu kind of gets gypped for a lot of things. So, because of that, Pikachu, I'm inclined to put you, I gotta put you A tier. You're the homeboy, you're Pikachu. So, now for the Kanto starter. Now I'm gonna get some hate in the comments. The Kanto starters are overhyped, like seriously overhyped. Are they good? Yes. Are they classic? Do they have good designs? Yes. Do they deserve anywhere near the amount of support they've gotten, like, onward? No, not at all. The fact we got Megas of the Kanto starters, we've gotten Gigantamax of the Kanto starter. Charizard got 2 freaking Mega Stones out of this dang thing. Charizard is the most overhyped of these 3. I'm sorry. He's a good fire type. He's cute. And yeah, we all watched the anime. We all loved Ash Charizard. We all thought he was so cool. But he's a fire flying type. He's quad weak to rock. Yeah, he gets good damage capability, but he suffers a lot from it. And then he's a dragon that's not a dragon. He doesn't become a dragon until he gets a Mega Stone. He is a good Mon, don't get me wrong, but he's also, if you look at the original Red and Blue, he is useless. Absolutely useless until the 4th gym. He gets bodied by the first 2 gyms. The 3rd gym, he really doesn't do anything yet. It's not until the 4th gym, well, 4th or 5th gym, depending on what order you do it, when you face Erica, that he actually becomes useful. If you pick him, you are picking a hard time. He's just not that great a starter, not that great a companion. His design looks good and everything else. But Charmander, I'm sorry, my boy, you are a B tier. That's right, I said it. Come after me in the comments. Come after me. If you think Charmander should be S tier, let me know why. And I will let you know why you're wrong. Now, Squirtle. Squirtle, I love Squirtle. I love the Squirtle quad, the shade from the original anime. Love him. Wartortle, I'm not a fan of the design. Again, it suffers from that same issue a lot of the design too, where the mid-evolution doesn't look great. It doesn't. But I love Blastoise. I love Blastoise. I know I just was giving crap about Mega Evolution, but I love Blastoise and Mega. I love Blastoise, the Gigantamax with the wall of cannons. I think that's great. He is good in the original game. He's good on the first game, on the second, bad on the third. But he comes around toward the end with Lane and Giovanni. He really starts to come back. So I would give Squirtle and the toys. I would give him a high A. I think he's really good. And now for Bulbasaur. The Bulbasaur, people always give Bulbasaur shit. He's terrible. He's the worst of the Kanto starters, and you would be wrong. Not only did Bulbasaur murder Brock, murder Misty, he resists Surge. He really doesn't start to have a weakness until Sabrina, but Gen 1 Psychic types were so OP in Gen 1, the Averline specifically, that anything would get murdered by that. Even if you specifically go get a Ghost type, you still are going to have a hard time with Sabrina. But I love Bulbasaur's little design. I like Ivysaur. Venusaur is not quite as high up there for me, but I love the design. The Megaform looks cool. The Gigantamax looks cool. He's the most youthful. And you know what? He is S tier. Bulbasaur is S tier. That's it. I said it. Fight me. And with that, we have completed our tier list. Yeah, nothing really D tier, because again, there's a lot of highs and a couple really lows, but for the most part, I love the tier list. I'm super glad y'all came out to watch this with me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? I feel like there should be some pitchforks and portrait coming my way. I'm looking for an angry mob when I post this video. But let me know what you think. Once again, my name is Dr. Abyss. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you all on the next video. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. We go live 4 times a week there. And I will see you all next time. Bye.